Welcome. Thanks for tuning in to the Clark Network. This is the Ryan and Clark Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. In this video, I wanted to highlight the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yeah, I've been looking over some videos for myself, and I noticed that I've always been talking about who can beat them or who can match them, but I haven't gave the defending champs any props, and I definitely wanted to, especially now going late in the season, going into the playoffs. I wanted to show them some love because what they've done this season is very remarkable, and I think now it's starting to become pretty normal to that why people aren't really talking about it, but they're really good. They're right back where they should be, and going into tonight's game against New York, I'm looking forward to the game and I'm gonna watch it. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They won three straight. And I just wanted to highlight, just some of the balance right now that they're having and how dominant they've been this season. SGA averaging 31. Jalen Williams only playing 26 games, but he averaging 17, Chet's averaging 17, Mitchell's averaging 14, McCain averaging 12 in 11 games, Joe's averaging 11. Hartenstein's averaging 10, Wiggins is averaging 10. That's some great balance and scoring right there. They're really gonna be a tough team to beat. I have a high respect for San Antonio right now, but picking against them against OKC would be hard because OKC's proven. So, doing what they're doing this year is another great season under their belt, and they're starting to build I guess you could say the culture. I'm sorry, they haven't built it. They built it. It's there at this point. So apologies for that. But they've built the culture there and it's sustained. It looks really good, and NBA's got a problem on their hands because I don't think they're going nowhere. Their contracts are locked up between the core, and as you see, they're plugging in players that they can turn it around and be successful with. I mean, me being a Sixers fan, of course, I gotta highlight this because they got McCain from us, and PS Sixers you shouldn't have gave him up. But yeah, look at McCain. As soon as he got there, coming from another team who management gave up on him, he came in 11 games, averaging 12. And he has 3 20-point games off the bench, most of the NBA since he got there in the trade deadline, which is amazing. Joe, same thing with Isaiah Joe. Sixers gave up on him. He's over there averaging 11, got a ring. I'm happy for both of them that they turned it around. Same with the Knicks and Hartenstein. Same thing. They passed up not wanting him to give him his money. Thunder gave him the money and he got a ring. I just want to, highlight the balance of the team. And I think a key point in where I guess you could say that I really feel like they can do it again and repeat is the 9 games SGA missed. They didn't miss a beat. They were out here still beating teams. They had an impressive win against the Cavaliers, who I got high respect for in the James Harden deal. They went out there and beat James Harden and Mitchell. They beat them. So that game really stuck out to me, and just the stretch that they had, while SGA was out. I really, really think that OKC can repeat. It's definitely possible. Now SGA's back. He's getting back in the groove of things and still leading the league in MVP odds. Yeah, he's still leading there. But I like what they're doing. I do think though that they're going to need Jalen Williams to repeat. I think he's definitely going to be needed. Only playing 26 games isn't good at all. I think that he's going to be needed for stretches and helping SGA when times are needed and it's going back and forth and it's a high scoring game. I think is definitely going to be needed. Excuse me. And I just want to highlight also on the defensive end, yeah, Carson Wallace, who's tied for the league in steals. Chet's also second in blocks behind, Wemby, but Chet's averaging 2 blocks a game. Carson Wallace averaging 2 steals a game. SGA is second in points. I really think, it's a really balanced effort. And I definitely want to highlight the coach. I'm sorry, I'm not going to even butcher your name, but I do. I want to highlight the coach for OKC. And, I really like what they built. They brought him up from the G League to, winning the championship last year. And I think they have it in their minds that they want to repeat to prove last year wasn't a fluke. And it gives me a little bit of what the Warriors did before getting KD. And, not to the degree of 73-9. Of course, they learned their lesson quick with that, getting a little ahead of themselves. But I still think they're a dominant team and they have a strong case to repeat. I really only see maybe 2 teams that can give them a problem in the West, which is Denver and San Antonio. But Denver, they still got all the problems themselves. I mean, they might not be able to beat certain teams in the West themselves. So I think the collision course between them and the Spurs is coming. And Spurs did take 3 or 4, but I still think they can. I still think OKC can beat them. I do see a little bit of a, I guess you could say a temperature check with that. Whereas, okay, we see y'all, but you're not fully on our radar yet. We gotta see y'all. We know we gotta see y'all, but we ain't gonna show our full hand yet. I think that a little bit went on with that. There's nothing wrong to the Spurs because you got to do what you got to do and show that you're serious. So I do think OKC is going to give them a way more serious effort in the playoffs when that comes around. Well, hopefully, if it comes around. But what do you guys think about the Thunder? Do you think they're going to repeat? I have a strong case that they can. I don't really see anyone in the East beating them right now. I mean, they do got the Knicks tonight, who I think is coming out the East still right now. Pistons, they did lose to the Pistons not too long ago, but like I said, yeah, I don't think it's still towards the end of the year, and I think yes, you're gonna catch OKC slipping and things like that. But I just think right now they're not at full strength, and I don't think they've been at full strength all year. So to be where they're at, still at the top of the West, with the Spurs winning 11 straight, it kind of shows how dominant OKC has been. Spurs won 11 straight, and they still are a game and a half behind OKC for number one. So, I just want to give some love to OKC and show some props to them. And what do you guys think about it? Do you think SGA should be the MVP? Do you think that OKC is going to repeat? I don't think he's going to. Well, let me not say that. I don't think he's the MVP, but do I think the media is probably going to give it to him? Sure. And I can't be totally mad about that. He's going to play them the appropriate amount of games, and he's putting up great numbers. So I'm not too mad about that. I wouldn't be up in arms about it. But, do you guys have him as the leader for MVP? Do you see OKC repeating? Let me know what you guys got in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Have a good one.